Previously on X-Men.
Come to me, my X-Men. Yes, it is I, your humble host, your purveyor of plastic, Sam of SG1, coming at you for another Transformers Transformation Review thingy. Yes, this week we are taking a look at the collaborative, come on, say words, Transformers X-Men Ultimate X-Spanse, which is a silly name. Not just the X-Jet would have been alright, or Excelsior, maybe, but who knows. Sorry, I'm coming off a bit thingy at the minute. I mean, asthma is kicking my goddamn ass at the moment. Anyway, so what do we get in the set? We get Ultimate X-Spanse himself, we get an Ickle Sabretooth and an Ickle Wolverine. And we also get some blast effects, but more on those in a moment. We're going to show you Sabretooth and Wolverine. So, there, he's not painted very well, and these are really tiny as well. I mean, you can accept some paint limitations, but these are really small, and the paint isn't exactly perfect. I don't know if it's just mine. See, that bit at the back there should be brown. I think his ass should be brown as well. Yeah, and brown boots, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, Sabretooth's always been a favourite of mine. I've always liked him. But I mean, he wears boots, but they're also part of his skin. Very weird. But there's Sabretooth. I mean, the sculpted detail on it is pretty good, just the paint is pretty bad. And it does the job. I mean, these are really small things. So that's Sabretooth. And next we've got old Logan himself, Mr. Wolverine. Yeah, his face mask is just black. It should be, it should have a gap in the middle there. Nothing on the face, although mine's got a little bit of black on there. Again, sculpting is pretty good, but the paint is just awful. Now, if somebody out there in Internet Land can paint these for me, I'd be very happy. Yeah, I mean, it does the job. I mean, like I say, these are really tiny figures. Let me just show you by comparison. So they're standout. Yeah, that's the other thing is, Wolverine there doesn't like to stand up. So, what have we got nearby that I can show you? A G1 Micromaster. There he is. So they are pretty tiny. Oh, fell down. So they are pretty tiny little figures. But I mean, they do the job. I mean, but I'll get onto that one. There's something I need to say about these. I'll get onto that when I do the review. When I finish the review. Yeah. So put them aside. So here we have the X-Jet itself. Now, this is a heavy retool of the Studio Series. I think it's Revenge of the Fallen, whichever the second movie is. Revenge of the Fallen, Jetfire. It shares a lot of the transformation in there, but it's been almost completely retooled. It looks nice. It's the X-Jet. It's supposed to be a modified Lockheed Martin Blackbird. It's even referred to as the Blackbird. See, the Blackbird would have been nice as well, the name. Now, one thing I will say about mine, I don't know if it's. Oh, you know, I don't think every version of this is the same, but fucking hell, trying to transform it back into jet mode for this review took me 42 minutes. I don't know, I timed it. Some of these panels will not fit in properly. These wings they're so droopy, they keep drooping down, which is really annoying. I need some clear nail varnish just to strengthen these joints up a bit. So, you know what I mean? They just fucking flop everywhere. They will fall off during transformation. So yeah, other than that, it's not a bad jet. Out of all the crossovers, I think this is the worst one. And they were charging something ridiculous like £90 for this. I didn't fucking pay that. I paid, I think, £20, I think they eventually went down to. Or was it £30? Might have been £30. And even at that price, I'm a bit disappointed with it. So yeah, so got some nice detail on it though. You've got the nice blue X-Men blue colour. You've got a nice big X-Men symbol there as well. You've got some really nice panel details along the edge of the cockpit there, and you've got the nice red cockpit. You know, like in the show, and it goes like that. It goes right into the cockpit there. As you can see, these are woefully out of scale. Yeah, to be this scale. The figures would have to be something like this big. Yeah, so... But it does the job, doesn't it? It does it. It's fine. Like I say, lovely splashy yellow in the intakes there. As you can see, just flops around. Yeah, you got nice black panels in there. Like I say, bits of it just will not want to fit together. And it is a fucking pain. Like I said, if I'd paid full price for this thing, I'd have been exceptionally disappointed. And we move to the bottom, and it is clearly a robot underneath. Like most jet formers, does have some landing gear, which you can fold away if you choose. We'll do that. And you can see parts which are going to form the robot. But there's some nice detail on there. You know, we'll look at that in a moment. There's some nice details there as well. We'll look at that in robot mode. So, let's take him to robot mode. Now, this is going to be a slog. So, let's get a crack on, shall we? I'm going to just take these off because these will fall off. We'll put them back on in robot mode. See how easy it was. It wasn't even difficult to pull them off. So I'm going to get some clear nail varnish, I think, and just strengthen these nubs to make them a little better. Obviously, what you do is you put it on there, wait till it dries, you can leave it an hour. I like to leave it 24 hours, and then once it's dry, back on and it'd be fine. So we can put them over there. So to transform it's one of those get things out of the way kind of transformers. So we flip him over. So what do we do first? So we come to the legs, and it's already disconnected. See, you've got this peg and port system down here. So you just disconnect that as well on this side. It's already done it for me. What will become the crotch section, actually the butt section, is connected here. So you disconnect that as well. So just move everything out of the way. Actually, bring these forward just for now, because, like I said, need to get everything out of the way. So we'll focus on the legs. So what do? Is we get the legs out of the way. So we bring these forward like that, and then bring them. Now this joint in mine is exceptionally tight. Bring that down like that. Oh, same for this side. Bring that down. Oh, okay, now that's hard work. Whew. Right, so what do we do next is we split. So basically we take the nose cone, or the intake rather, lift that up, and that gives that frees all that up. So we come to this section here as well. So down in this section, we rotate this out like that, and that just frees everything up. So you lift that out like that. There we go. Sorry about that. Coughing me guts up there. So then we split this like so. You see these joints it's on? It's really hard to get it in properly. So you split it like that and pull that down. You've got a little joint in there, and you rotate this whole section round to get it out of the way, and then that's it, like that. Get this section, similar deal. You rotate it all the way around like so. So you've got these two little pegs here, which will fit into this slot just there. So you just rotate that back round and then fit that back in. One thing I will say is actually you've got X-Men logos everywhere. You've got one on what will become the knee. You've got a little one up here as well. But if you can see that, zoom that in. You've got the little X-Men's logo there as well, which is pretty good. And you've got all this detail going through the legs there. All these panel works and pistons and so forth. Which is pretty cool. So, and then just rotate that out. And then, again, similar thing. You just rotate that in, and then that. So you've got these two pegs here. Will fit in these two slots there. Like that. And then that little peg there should fit into that little bit there, like that. And it should all collapse in, like so. And you get this little split down there, which is pretty cool. So it's not just like one whole, section of blue. There's a nice little split in there. And then what you do is you lift that up like that, and then you rotate these panels in. No, I think I'm doing that wrong. I think I'm just transforming it back, actually. Oh, no, right, okay. This is what we do. Split that open like that. rotate this back, so this becomes back of the leg like that, and then you got the foot there over the booster. Again, that one is really fucking loose. So then you close it up, and then this panel, you've got a little slot there and a little tab there, and that should fit into there like so. Same for this side, rotate that in like that, and there we go. And then you rotate that in, straighten it all out, thus, and then you got a leg, which is pretty cute. And then second verse, same as the first, rotate this out, and then you rotate that up first, rotate this out. Probably easy to do it this way, lay them down, rotate both these sections around like that, and then around like that, straighten out the knee, and then that should all fit in to there. Rotate that round like that, and then same slots and pegs, and thus, and we have legs. We have big fat legs. There we go. Right. So, now for the upper part of the torso. So, what do we do now is, before we transform it, got all this detail in there. You've got these round sort of generators, I guess. Got one there for the waist. You've got one there, which is pretty cool. So, what do is we get this section here, and we just rotate this up like that, and then you've got what will become the arms. This grey section is pegged in there on both sides, so we just lift that section out like that, and then, I shouldn't have done that yet, but there we go. See what I mean? It's one of these panels, get out of the way kind of fucking transformations. So we come to this section here, get this bit, rotate that round there like that. Then we get these sections here. This whole bit will come down and fit, and we get his head out because we need to get that out of the way. Fucking hell, this is hard work. Right, so this whole section will come down and form his chest. He says, come on, you rotate these sections around like that, become his shoulders like that, and then that should, for some reason it's not, peg in. I don't know why it's not. Bear with me, boys and girls. Right, there we are. So then we just connect that in there like that. It don't want to stay very well. And you just position the head up like so. Then we come and sort his arms out and rotate these forward, rotate these back round like that. And you get this section here, rotate that in, and that will fit over there. And it should snap in, there we are. And then we've got a hand, which is very nice. Same again for this side, rotate that round, and then we snap that back in like that. Then we've got arms, which is very nice, and then we just click. Ah, there we go. I had them in the wrong position. So basically, pull them out like that, and then that will fit in there proper, which is very nice. You didn't see that, did you? So I had them down like that, so it won't fit in. You rotate them up. Actually, rotate them in like that. So this yellow section is behind there. You can't see what I'm doing. There we are. Rotate that up. Right, so, and that should lock everything into place, and it feels like it has. So now we come to the back. Now all these panels here. Right, so we come to this bit, we rotate these panels out like that, and then we also rotate this whole section down, and you've got these two pegs will fit into these two ports there, and then that'll fit in like that. Get that out of the way. Or does that plug in? Yes, it does. You've got these two ports there that will fit into there like so, or it should, and it doesn't want to. Why don't you want to? Why do not want to? I don't know. Okay, so we get this whole section. This bit comes forward like that. So you split this, comes forward, rotate this whole bit backwards. Then you get the front end of the jet, rotate that up. And that little peg there, that little port there will fit into that little peg there, like that. And then this whole section will, does that? I think that goes in there. That comes down. So you rotate these. See, everything gets in the way. Nothing. Bear with me. Sorry, I had to do that bit off camera. So that bit comes. So you concertina that into there. Get this out of the way, and then this section comes up and over the back, And those little pegs, where are they? I think that's the way it goes. These go over the back like that. No, that's not the way, is it? Bear with me again. Sorry about that, I have to keep doing it off camera, it's been a while. Right, so, that peg there fits into that hole there. And that should fit in, like so. Has it done it? Yes, it's done it. Yeah, there we go. And then you just position these however you like. You can see what I'm doing. Let's bring the camera up a little bit. There we are. So then these panels just kind of just hang out there, which is a bit of a shame. I'd like to have been able to fold them, you know, another quarter turn that way, but, you know, it is what it is. And then there is Ultimate X-Spanse in his robot mode, and you position them wings however you like. I like to bring them out like that. And then you put the landing gear, you need to put it up, I like to put it back out of the way, like that. And there is Ultimate X-Spanse in his robot mode. And do you know what? Generally, he doesn't look too bad. And why are those wings? Why is that like that? Because I've done it wrong. 1 second. There we go. I had that bit in the wrong place. Would you believe it? Now, this is the thing about this figure, is I'm a collector, and once it's on a shelf, it's fine. I particularly don't like his transformation. Now, if you'd have given this to a child, they'd have broke it in about 5 minutes, and they couldn't have transformed it and thrown it away for 90 odd pounds. This was. And these keep falling off, and yeah, this is just not how an expensive figure should be. And I think these go up on the wings like that, and you can position them out however you like. I like to push these out on the outside, just give it that extra bit of, you know, X-Men-ness sticking up. See what I mean? You touch it and it fucking falls off. Get on there, you twat. Go on. Come on. Yeah, if you'd have bought this for a kid for Christmas, they'd have been fucking throwing it in the toy box by Boxing Day and never touch it again. It is a pain in the fucking ass. There you go. I mean, it looks good. I mean, if you've got him with all the other, you know, crossovers, it'd look great on a shelf. Let's get everything into frame a bit. Yeah, it is what it is. Now, in terms of articulation, right, you can move these up and down. I mean, why you would, I don't know. I wish you could, like I say, another quarter turn backwards, but they just hang out there. They're a bit weird. He can rotate his head 360 degrees, and he can look up and down. We'll have a look at his head in a minute. He can actually lift his visor up as well, which is pretty cool. Got a nice big X-Men symbol there. He can rotate his arms 360 degrees, but they get in the way of the kibble. He can move out at that joint, but that's more for transformation joint, but you can move him out there, rotate him around. He can twist his arm at the top of the bicep there, bend his elbow to about there, and his wrist can rotate 360 degrees. His waist can rotate, but they are hindered by all this kibble, and he's got left and right rotation. Why you'd want that, I don't know. His legs, I don't want to sit right. His legs can't move forward, but they're exceptionally tight, so they can move forward. They can rotate the top of the thigh. They can bend at the knee. Nice double jointed bend there, which is very nice. Nice X-Men symbol as well. And his feet can move up and down, left and right, wiggly waggly, and up and down as well. And that keeps coming off because it is a pain in the fucking afterburners. Oh, come on. I think I might be not the only one that's reviewed this in the past. I mean, it's getting on for like 5 or 6 years old now, this figure, but, you know, oh, come on. Just stay on, please stay on for the review. There we go. Yes. Stand still. I mean, if you're collecting the crossovers, it's one to collect, but it's not a figure that you can play with, quite honestly. I mean, once he's in situ, he's going to stay there, you know, because he's one of these figures that if you touch, the whole fucking thing collapses, you know what I mean? So let's have a look at that face sculpt then. It does have a really nice face sculpt, I must admit. In this Cyclops style as well, the blue and the yellow, and everything's come apart because it has, there we are. It's got a nice face sculpt. And then he can lift his visor up as well, and he's got some nice red eyes underneath there, with a very transformery head, which is very nice, but I like the visor down, it looks pretty cool. But yeah, like I say, as soon as you start messing with this guy, just 1 second. Yes, I mean, he does have some blast effects, I guess. You've got these blast effects. You've got this one, which is like an energy sword, which got like a very Psylocke kind of powers, which is very cool. So you can put him in there if you want. You've got these Wolverine claws as well, so you can put them in that side as well. And yeah, so you can do that. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Cyclops. It's emulating a bit of Wolverine and a bit of Psylocke as well. So, I mean, you've covered your bases a bit with this figure, which is not too bad. But, like I say, it is one of them things that once you start messing with it, it doesn't want to play. Like I said, like now I've put these in his arms, he won't stand up at all. There we are. And there we are. And then you get the little figures as well. You know, Wolverine and Sabretooth. Now, I guess Wolverine because he's Wolverine. But Sabretooth, I mean, I like Sabretooth. And like I said, he's one of my favourite Marvel villains. But the fact that, I mean, yeah, you can got a rivalry there and you can pretend and, you know, Berserker Barrage, you know, egg-sucking gutter trash, you know, all that sort of stuff. But could you have had Storm or Cyclops or Jean Grey or somebody else maybe? Possibly. Oh, I forgot to mention, actually, you get this little bit with it as well. Now, I'm not sure what this is all about. Now, you're supposed to plug on Wolverine like so, around his waist like that. And you get this thing going on. I suppose it's supposed to replicate him, you know, in the cartoon when he slashes his claws together and you get that, you know, energy effect in the thing. I suppose you could do that. And then you could put them up on here. I think maybe this is why it's here. You can put these guys up here. You know, I'll take that off because it's just going to fall off. And you can have them fighting on top of his wings there. If the... No, it's not going to go. I mean, you could do that. I mean, overall, though, if you can find this guy cheap, and you like your X-Men as well as your Transformers, then you can't go wrong with it. But please don't spend more than 30 quid for this set, because I think, quite frankly, it's not worth it. The amount of messing about I've had to do to try and get him into a pleasing appearance for you is not worth my time or effort, quite frankly. You could happily miss this guy, but if you want to complete the crossovers, then, you know, in this case, I'll leave that option up to you. As we didn't take a look at the closer details, did we? We've got some... I love the X-Men symbolage on the front there. Focus, and the Rob Liefeld style patches, which is very nice. And then, you know, I've done a Rob Liefeld thing there where he covered the feet up. But I mean, overall though, I mean, the design it works sort of in theory, but just in practice, not so much. Anyway, I hope you like this review. If you don't, what are your thoughts? Tell me in the comment section. And if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe, hit like, hit notification bell so when I've got new videos out. Should be every Thursday and Saturday. And check out my previous reviews, should be down in this corner there. And if you're in a good mood and you think I deserve it, please check out my Patreon. I've got some cool rewards over there as well. And thank you. And I will catch you all very soon. Bye for now.